and welcome to this episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. Today I'm once again with Yamaha's 1980 XS1100 Special. And this project, this is a recent purchase. I bought it, the brakes were all seized up, and I have since I've rebuilt the calipers, I've rebuilt the master cylinder. I've done that in the front and in the back. And so now the bike is drivable, and I've been driving it. But my front brakes are subpar because the calipers were sticking and they warped the original OEM front rotors. I have just purchased a set of the EBC rotors for this bike. The part number on these is the MD2024, and I will be installing these today. It is the same for both left and right side on this bike. And then I've also got the bolts that go through the brake calipers are slightly bent. And I think, again, it's from that going back and forth with the warpage on the rotors. And so I purchased brand new bolts, but these things are no longer in production. I was just lucky enough to find some and went ahead and bought them, and I'll be installing them today. I may also go in and take a look at my master cylinder. It seems like it's not returning as quickly as it should, and that may actually cure itself a little bit as I put the new rotors on, and they don't have to kind of squeeze as much. There's not as much piston travel, so that may kind of even itself out, work itself out. If not, I will go ahead and go back in and look at this and probably hone this out a little bit more, and so my piston has a little bit freer movement in there when I put the brakes on. All right, enough talk, let's get to work. All right, the first thing I'm going to do, these retaining bolts on the rotors, they each have a tab here that needs to be bent back so that I have access and I can actually pull these out. So these are locking tabs, and so I'm going to just carefully do that. I'll put the camera in time lapse here. currently driving Yamaha's 1980 XS1100 Special, and I just put new brake rotors on it, and this is just a test drive. Already I can tell that there is much less vibration. There's really no vibration when I put the brakes on, and that's great. I'm just going to be bedding in the brakes here. And wow, that's already so much improved. What an amazing difference. We'll just bring it to a stop. And with a bike this powerful, you definitely need good brakes. And the ones that were on it were just warped, and they didn't give any kind of real stopping power. And these just are so much of an improvement. It just hauls the bike down so nicely. And now I can kind of feel this bike rides very plushly. And with these new brakes, now I feel the suspension definitely compressing as they get on the brakes. So yeah, they work great, no shimmies, and it just stops like it should. Awesome. All right, so there you have it. We have installed brand new EBC brake rotors on the 1980 XS1100 here, and that will just bring the level of safety on this bike way up. And it'll get rid of the shimmy that I had under braking and give me much better front end control. While I was in there doing that, I finished that up, and my brake lever still was not returning like I wanted it to. It would kind of slowly return. And so what I did was I pulled this master cylinder back off. I pulled it all apart again. I honed out the shaft there where the piston goes through. And I also took the piston itself and deburred it and polished it really nicely with very fine sandpaper. And then I reassembled everything, and it functions perfectly now. So I don't know if there was a little bit of a burr somewhere in there or what, but that has been taken care of. And now when I let off the brakes, they return instantly, and so I don't have to worry about them hanging up and warping the new rotors. They're expensive. Rotors are not cheap. That whole front braking system is complete. I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, enjoy the ride.